everybody. How are we all doing? Um, Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Nanado. I'm the programs coordinator for Muna Kalati. Muna Kalati is an NGO that promotes children's books in Africa. So we basically promote all the children's book actors in Africa, whilst also promoting children's literacy. Today, we're going to be having a very important discussion, the topic of the impact of ChatGPT on the children's book industry in Africa. Today, I have with me, Ifwa Eshon, I have Matilda Mahu, and I have Christian Ilonge. Unfortunately, Christian Ilonge is currently not with us, but he'll be joining soon. But we'll start with Ifwa Eshon and Matilda. Give the opportunity to Ifwa to introduce herself. Tell us a little bit about herself before we begin.
Okay, my name is Ifwa Ishen. I'm currently a final year student at the Ghana Institute of Journalism, and I'm an editor and a writer as well, working with Golden Quill Editing Solutions. And I'm happy to be here today.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. We're also happy to be here, Ifwa. We'd like to hear from Matilda next. That's a brief introduction.
My name is Matilda Mahu. I graduated from GIG, attended GIG, studied Bachelor of Arts in Communications, majored in journalism. Currently working with the local government services, Doma East District Assembly to be precise, as an assistant director 2B. I'm a storyteller, a writer, and let's say a communicator. So that's it.
Okay, that's great. We have powerful and very knowledgeable people with us today. I can see there are quite a few number of us on the call. I'd like to acknowledge each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us. So we'll begin. The impact of ChatGPT on the children's book industry in Africa. So the question is, what is ChatGPT? I'm sure almost all of us here probably one way or the other have used the AI ChatGPT before. GPT is generative AI. And what I mean by generative AI is it's an AI which inputs a command or a prompt, it will return back to you what you asked for. So ChatGPT, however, is a text AI. So you input prompts like a text prompt, and it brings you back text responses. There is a vast application of this AI, and that's what we'll be discussing today. So we are going to discuss the impact of it children's book industry in Africa. There was a reason why we decided on this topic because I think one time I was scrolling through the internet and I chanced upon this thread where people were arguing on an issue. Apparently, there was this white guy who, when ChatGPT was first launched, he used ChatGPT and another AI tool called Midjourney. That's also another generative AI tool, but this one for pictures. So he used both of these AI tools to generate a whole full children's book story with chapters and all that. And he used the Midjourney AI to generate images for this children's book. So this brought this controversy. People were arguing, why is it possible for someone who doesn't have any expertise in writing children's book? How is it possible that he can write a fully fledged children's book just using AI without the help of a writer, an illustrator, publisher, all that? You see, so it brought to my mind that, okay, this tool is very powerful. So how can the people and the creatives in the industry, the creatives all around the world, whether in the industry or not, how can they best utilize this tool to improve their work? What are the positive impacts of this tool? What are the negative effects of it? How do we mitigate these effects? It's a very interesting topic I'd like us to discuss. So to begin, I would like to ask a question to Matilda. I'd like you to tell us a little bit. Have you used ChatGPT before in your work as a creative, as a storyteller? How did you use it? If you can let us know.
All right. So yes, I have used ChatGPT. Is it ChatGPT on other projects,
yes,
but not on storytelling?
Okay.
Yes, I've used it on other official projects, but not on storytelling. Like me trying to pen down a story and bring my thoughts to life. I've not used that yet.
So what about you? Have you used ChatGPT in doing any creative work, or as Matilda was saying, like any official work?
Well, I haven't, and it was only until recently that I started using it because I don't know, people were making so much fuss about it, and I don't like to use something that a lot of people fuss about. So I just decided to give it a try, and I didn't use it for any creative work. It was just to generate captions for a social media post, and even with that, it didn't meet the expectation I set for it.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Okay, that's great. So I can confidently say you are skeptical about using it, not a fan of using it.
Yeah, a little.
Yes. I know quite a number of us on this call. We are fans of using it. I can tell quite a number of us here, we've been using it for our work. Thing I want us to discuss. You see, the reason why Ifwa didn't enjoy using ChatGPT was because she didn't get the required or the desired response she wanted for it. Okay. Personally, I've used ChatGPT. I use it quite a lot. The question now is, why do I like it? Why is it that some people don't like it? What makes the experience of two people different? What did you do with it? Why didn't you enjoy it? I think you can answer this question.
Okay, I personally, I wouldn't say I didn't like it entirely. It's just it didn't meet my expectations, and I think that is because of the hype. You know, usually when something is overhyped, it doesn't meet the expectations, or it doesn't meet the standards that it is raised onto, and the experiences may differ per individuals or per people because of probably your technical inclinations, even what you want to use it for, or whatever project you're using the chatbot for. So I think that is what influences how a user experiences ChatGPT. Yeah.
All right. Matilda, what do you think? Why
Well,
did you enjoy using it? Or if you didn't, let me, yeah.
Like I said earlier, I've used it for a couple of official work, and it was so fast. Yes, I've got to do some editing somewhere, but it was okay. Before then, when you brought out this topic, I was like, okay, let me see something about ChatGPT. Basically, when I'm writing my story, I bring emotions, I use my feelings. Okay. So I was like, let me go to ChatGPT and then try getting if I'm going to get some information from there, so I can, when we are communicating, I'll be able to state out some facts. So I put a storyline. I was like, can you help me create the story? And one thing I was amazed, it was like, well, I'm not human, so I don't have that kind of, emotions and things. So then I was like, it wouldn't help me. I got what I wanted to, the information I needed out there. The reason why I would not enjoy using it is because if I'm writing my story, I bring a lot of creativity. It comes with my emotions, my feelings, empathy, all of that. And IA is a machine. So it wouldn't be able to communicate what I wanted to. That is why I'm not using that for my story writing. But like I said, I enjoy using it for other official duties. But story writing, this is why I wouldn't enjoy it that much, or this is why I don't enjoy, or why I've not used it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Listening to both of you, I can see the problem, the reason why you guys don't enjoy it, because from what Matilda you're saying, AI is, as we know, a machine, or it's artificial, so it doesn't possess the human emotions that a normal writer would have used. It cannot write like a human, basically. However, I don't agree, okay, because I believe the generative AI, the way it is created, it's created in a way that I don't know if you guys did this in ICT when you were in primary school. Whistle wake, what you see is what you get, garbage in, garbage out thing.
Exactly.
I don't know if you know. You've heard.
Yeah.
So it is like basically what you give to the AI, that's what you will get out. I don't know. Yeah. So it depends on your prompt. So if you tell the AI to just write a story on maybe teenage pregnancy for you, just a simple prompt like that will bring out a very generic, lacking emotions and all that. It's going to be very technical writing, no creativity in it. However, in my personal applications, the more you improve the prompt, so write a story about teenage pregnancy, I want the tone of it to be professional. I want it to be interesting. I want it to be empathetic. I want it to be bold. I want the tone to be, you get it. These words will bring these emotions now, because basically these generative AIs, they are trained with information all across the internet. So they've trained it on stories written by humans, so it can detect the emotions of stories written by other people on the internet, you see. So once you add to the prompt, maybe the story should be empathetic, the story should be interesting, it should be funny, it should be humorous, it should be this, it adds the emotions to it. Sometimes you can even go further to add, okay, let the style be like Obama, or the style should be Joe Biden, or the style should be Akufo-Addo, or the style should be anyone, any famous writer you know of, you get it. Then it starts looking at bringing you responses that are very specific, tailored to what you personally want. You get it. So sometimes it depends on the prompt. So that's the first issue we've identified now. So generative AI is very limited, depending on the prompt you give to it. Okay. Anyway, so which brings us to our next question. So what is the best use case for generative AI for creatives? What do you think the best use cases are? Do you think we should be using it to write fully fledged stories, using it to be bringing out fully fledged illustrations, or you think maybe it's just supposed to give us maybe an outline of what we can do, and then as creatives we can now include our emotions and perspectives to it? What do you think, Matilda?
All right, so thank you for that detailed explanation. Well, it wouldn't, we using ChatGPT in our illustration or trying to get it into our creative arts is not a bad thing, okay? there's a lot we can do about it. For me, if I will be using it, I will take it as a template. Because sometimes even when I'm using it for official duties, I just go in, put the documents there, the information there. When it gives me what I want, I now bring it and I'm like, okay, this is the template. So this is the format. This is how I want to get it done. And then I add my own vibes. I want to use that word, or I add my own information to it. So yes, because one thing about it is it's very fast when you are using it, okay? The speed at which it generates your information is very fast. So we can use it so that at least we can beat up with time. It will help us to deliver our works very fast. It makes it easier. So we can use it, but again, yes, like you said, we have to fuse in some of our thoughts because there are so much in our mind we want to put in the book. And sometimes when you're giving the instruction that this is what I want you to do for me, you can't put everything in there. So if we can get it as a template, then add more detail to it, I think it's a goal for us in the creative art industry. Because as your topic rightly said too, we are dealing with cultural heritage. And probably, I don't know, maybe the next question will go there, because when we want to talk about our heritage, we have our dynamics. We have our way of telling our stories with our own moral lessons and all of that. I can't just go straight, and I don't think it will, because so we can just blend it. We use it as a template and then just blend it and go ahead. I think it's good. Since you have also detailed how to go about it, if we should blend this to, we are good to go. Why not? We can embrace it.
Okay, that's great. To just develop templates, outlines for creative works, or you think it's at a place where we can just use it as it is to bring out fully fledged creative works? What do you think? What's your opinion on this?
To me or to Ifwa?
Ifwa.
Okay.
Ifwa.
Can you please repeat the question? I didn't get the beginning.
Yes. Yes. I was saying, do you think the generative AIs as it is, like ChatGPT, and so do you think in its current stage we can use it to bring out fully fledged creative works, so such as stories, illustrations and all that, and it will be sufficient and it is okay? Or you think we should just be using it as templates and outlines, which creatives will then build upon to make their works? What do you think the best use cases are?
Well, I don't think we should depend on AI to generate stories. The best you can do is to ask for story ideas. Maybe you're out of inspiration, you can ask for story ideas. You can ask for guidance on plot lines, maybe character names and all that. But I don't think ChatGPT as it is now should be used to write stories. Aside the fact that it lacks emotions and it cannot put those sentiments in there, it is not ideal, because one, there's the issue of it being able to produce wrong information, wrong content. It is an AI. It's not magic. It's not God. It doesn't know everything, and so we shouldn't depend on it fully. Think of it this way. I'm sure we all know that there are some tribes in Ghana that we associate with some foods. Let's say if you go to buy beans and cocoa and the seller is an ewe, it's going to be nice. If you go to buy wachi and the seller is a hajia or an amelia, you trust that it's going to be nice. In the same way, if the story is coming from a human writer, it's not guaranteed, but we can trust and hope that it is going to be nice. It's going to be relatable. It's going to be enjoyable. But depending on an AI to generate stories trust that you're going to get a bland story, unless of course you input specific prompts like Nanado was saying, which even with that is not 100% guaranteed. And so in my opinion, I think we should use it to generate story ideas. We should use it to review our stories, even ask for publishing advice and all that, and not use it totally for storytelling. Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Can I?
Yeah, you can.
All right. So with what Ifwa said, I so agree with Ifwa because one, don't forget that storytelling, like you said it, our cultural heritage. We have to, when it comes to our culture, our heritage is more of like a legacy. It's our property that was left for us. And it says something, a go bestseller. We all know someone who sells beans. When you want to eat and enjoy the best beans, you should go to an Ewe seller, so an Ewe person who cooks exactly. So you see, if we want to tell our stories, IA is a machine. Like we said, it has no emotions. We are storytelling. We fuse in we put that joy, we put that kind of imagination, the purpose in which we are writing or we are telling a story. IA is a machine. And again, also, if you want to start pushing in this thing right now, it means we are going to lose our creativity. Because for me, when I sit by my laptop to write, there are things I put myself into before writing. I first of all clear my mind. I try to take a deep breath, and then I try to just imagine. So in my wildest imaginations, I bring out things, the colors I want to use, and all of that. I won't be able to give me that. So yes, we can use it as a template. We can use it, but I think, no, I know, or it's a fact. I believe we should be able to tell our story and express our feelings. You know, sometimes you're able to tell a story and somebody's reading and the person start crying.
Yeah.
Because of the emotions I was using at that moment. The same way, if you take my message and you are reading on phone, you will notice my tone. If I'm angry writing, you can read it in my message. If I was smiling before, so it's a connection. It's more spiritual when you are writing as a storyteller. So you can't be able to vibe with the ChatGPT. It is a machine, so we can't, it won't be able to connect, you know. Writing is more spiritual. That's why when you want to write, you have to have a clear state of mind and all of that. So yes, ChatGPT is in. We might say yes, it's fast, but don't forget also that it will bring somebody's work to fuse into your work. It makes you not the original author of it. So you can't be proud of what you did. But if you just sit and you know you did it, you own it yourself, you get it. And it will make you also lazy in a way, because you feel like I'll just go sit somewhere, carry an information, dump on AI to work on it, and that is it. We are going to lose our creativity. And the fear for the next generation is high. Already we are generations that we do not know, we lack reading. We are trying to put that in our children, in our schools and all of that. Now, if you want to embrace this as creative arts industry, what will become of the children, especially with, what will become of them? It's going to be a challenge. So I think, yes, the template is good to go, but the other ones, we as creatives must come up. That is why we are called a creative industry. We need to work with you get it. So that's what
I like to add one last thing. Aside we adding emotions and feelings and whatever into the stories, sometimes it is good to add lived experiences. Even fictional stories borrow from lived experiences, and that is what makes the story come alive. Think of Chimamanda's How of a Yellow Sun, or even Yadisi's Homegoing. You know, it talks about things that people have gone through. That is how come when you read it, you'll be able to relate to it. You can picture it going on. You can think about it. It can even influence your behavior or your attitude as a person. But the AI doesn't have all of those lived experiences. And so it would be difficult for it to add such things into a story. And yeah, I think that alone deducts some marks. So
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you guys. But you know me, I'm an AI enthusiast because I like using it. It makes my work easier. I think in as much as I agree with you, okay, these lived experiences, these emotions, okay, these emotions when they come together, that's when you can form your stories, okay. However, the AI is also having a databases of these lived experiences, though not yours. I agree, not yours, okay. No emotions, not yours, but there are emotions other way. You get it? So the question now that comes to my mind is, you see, in a world where the person who comes first, that person's work is taken as like is acknowledged as the first. You get it? Like that's what people jump on. The first to come, you see, first come, first serve something. You get it in this world that we are living in. So though the emotions and the lived experiences might not be genuine, they might not be original, it can still be added. So now the question is, if someone uses AI to create a story and he publishes it fast, because he'll be faster than you, that you're now thinking, you are clearing your mind, you are walking on the beach, all that, you get it? So if that person brings it faster, people would definitely jump onto it over the person who is now going to think about it. It will take a long time for you to produce your creative work. So I'm just thinking, don't you think it is imperative that creatives in the industry jump onto this trend? Because it's either you jump on it or you'll be left behind. So like I'm trying to see how we could merge both the originality and creativity with the speed and vast database of the AI to create a faster and far better work than what either just the AI alone will be producing, or what either the person or the creative will be producing alone. Like there should be a middle ground. What do you think the middle ground could be? I think talk to us about the emotions aspect of it, and also how we could fuse both
Yes, thank you so much.
AI components and the human components. Thank you.
Yes, yes, thank you so much, Mr. Nana. I personally believe that AI can also integrate emotions. Of course, it all depends on the instruction that are given to it. There are many books already currently that are published exclusively, using AI, especially ChatGPT and other writing assistant tools. I think when it comes to the level of AI to create emotion, it all depends on the instruction that it receives. So, for example, if you use ChatGPT or ChatSonic, you can ask him, write a story, about a child who has a difficult, write a book, about a child who has a difficult upbringing, the challenges he went through and how he has been able to overcome it. Use emotions, like an emotion background from Victor Hugo or from Shakespeare, and the AI, you may not believe it, is going to exactly, create a story, fictional, everything according to the instruction that, he has been given,
Okay.
So I believe that it's possible to create emotions through AI, and gradually it's becoming difficult to even differentiate creative content that has been created using AI and creative content that has been created using exclusively human intelligence. So I think we are moving gradually into an era where intellectual rights will increasingly become difficult to ascertain, because if something has been created by the machine, can the ownership of the sales that comes out of it be given to the human being alone, or to also those who have developed the AI system? So there are a lot of questions that has to be taken into consideration, and it will be good to also hear from from other panelists, what are their views on that? How is AI going to affect the intellectual property of creative, of publishing books, visuals, and all of that? Even in the area of visuals, we have Mid Journey, we have ChatGPT also has, OpenAI also has another component that is focused on creating visuals. DALL2, DAL2. It creates visuals. You just give him text instruction, and it's able of creating visuals, graphic, by combining the power of graphic video card. So how do we therefore mitigate or manage the issue of ownership of rights when it comes to AI products? I will be glad to know the experiences of the other panelists or people who are also following. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So before we go to your last question, I'm trying to play the devil's advocate here, even though I'm an AI enthusiast, and I agree with quite mostly a lot of the things you said. However, as much as AI can bring emotions, can bring these experiences into a creative work, my question to you would be how would the originality of it come? You see, for a writer who came from a background of just as we were saying, maybe poverty or something, and maybe you see poverty in Accra, Ghana is different from poverty in Lagos, Nigeria, is different from poverty in New York, America, different from poverty elsewhere. You see, the poverty and you see all these experiences might be, you can tell AI to write something about poverty, but can it write your type of poverty you experience? You see, everybody's poverty is different. You get it? So like experiences are very different and unique. So like to have original content, I want to know, how do we bridge this gap by infusing each individual's personal just as I said, emotions and experiences to come to a point where the AI is bringing out exactly what you would have brought out if you sat down to write it. I don't know if you understand. So instead of just bringing just generic emotions or of poverty, or like we want to know how you can let AI bring out a work maybe about a child who lived in maybe the Doma East, something, you get it, something very specific.
Exactly.
Yeah. So can you explain to us about that? Then we move to your question on intellectual property.
So is it Christian that is supposed to do that? Or?
Yeah, Christian.
Okay. Thank you so much. So concerning that aspect, I believe that it's difficult for AI to replace human thinking or human creativity. What AI is doing is basically imitating. AI is just imitating the way human thinks and reproducing based on the information that he has received. So saying that AI will be able of reproducing exactly how I think or how another creative thinks is difficult. That's why usually, for it to create emotions, we have to give specific instruction. So AI is not able to generate by tapping into the data that he already has, and trying to combine it to create something. Obviously, it may not exactly reproduce, what we feel, what we think, or how we want to express. Why I fully agree that AI has its best potential when it's combined with human intelligence. So it's important to have artificial intelligence, yes, to save time in terms of getting some groundwork done. But ultimately, it's very important to bring our human intelligence to fine-tune, to refine, to personalize what we want to express. If you don't have that personalization, then the content that will be generated will be generic. We are going to realize that we are going to have books that are similar in the sense that some portion of the book may be the same with another book because they are tapping into the same material. So I believe that it's impossible for AI to fully express how someone thinks at a specific moment, but AI can give a framework of emotions from whom someone can pick what he specifically wants to use to express his thinking. So I think both work together, and it's up to us now to learn how to mix it, how to blend, our human thinking, our creative thinking skills with what AI can do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, can I come in and say something?
Yes, please.
All right. So we back to our topic again. It was storytelling with ChatGPT, the impact on cultural identity and heritage.
Yeah.
We are talking about culture, our identity, and our heritage here. It's three things. Our heritage is our legacy. Good. So right now, when Mr. Christian was speaking, he was like, oh, if you give an order to AI to write and put the emotion of Shakespeare is not a Ghanaian, no. Now they like, Shakespeare no be African man, sha. So you see, this is like Africa. We have something we have to preserve. I'm not against AI. Like I said, I use it equally. But there are certain things I will choose where to use it and when not to use it. You get it? It helps a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll choose where to use it and when not to use it. But when it comes to legacy, our forefathers protected something for us and we came to meet it. So sometimes even some recreational centers, they'll tell you, okay, this is it. And they'll even tell you, okay, it's a taboo to do this. Like a river, I know in Nigeria, you don't fetch water, you don't eat the fish in it and all of that. This is our legacy, this is our heritage, this is our culture. So if I want to bring a story and I want to tell a story about this river and I'm creating something, like a girl went into it and bring it, will I be able to bring in the reality of this river? That means we are going to be projecting other people's culture, which will not be helpful to us. Because I remember, I love storytelling because it was storytelling. I always tell people that storytelling really shaped me in a way. Because I remember my grandma, my late grandma, in blessed memory, she will gather all of us, tell us beautiful story, and we'll be like, at the end of the day, this was what happened to the person, the moral lesson. After saying it, then you ask you, what have you learned? You go to sleep and you are thinking about all of that, is working on you and all of that. Because they are trying to preserve something out of storytelling. I know how to be how to keep myself as a woman, how to preserve myself during my adolescent stage, how to even talk to people, how to be nice and all of that. Don't forget, that is my culture, and it has been fused in a story for me to be able to identify myself with. So yes, AI will help to some extent, like I said, the templates and all of that. But to say we are going fully out for it with our chest out that we should use it, I think it will not play a very good impact on our culture heritage. The impact will be that bad, a bit. It will be. I wouldn't say a bit. It will really affect us. So we have to strike the balance.
All right. Yeah. So Matilda, I think in the end, Christian was agreeing with you what you were actually saying, that we need to find a middle ground where we use both AI and human intelligence collaboratively. You get it? So the human intelligence will come with the emotions and the experiences and the cultural background, heritage, all that, but the AI will just be producing the write-up and all that. So there's a way to fuse both of them. But I'd like to ask Mr. Christian to restate his question on the intellectual property. So we discuss that next.
Okay. And before then, you ask something on we creatives, first to bring out the story.
Yeah.
So you see, in our media settings, Ifwa will be graduating soon. So I know you've got some experience. Sometimes the first to bring the news always makes mistake.
Okay.
So you don't do your diligent background check because you are so much in a hurry to breathe the gossip, to bring out the story. So you say your story half cooked.
Okay.
But you see, when you take your time and you do your background check, it's not about rushing to bring it out as a breaking news for me to be seen as the first to report. But I try to see, okay, this is the story. Can I pick it from angle A? Can I pick it from angle B? Can I pick it from angle C? Can I involve stakeholders? Can I do this? It actually brands you. So people will be like, oh, okay, this one is quick to bring out information, but it does not hold facts. And this person who is slow in bringing out information brings facts. So you end at the end of the day, you leave the people to judge. People will be like, okay, if I go for this, it's cooked, fast cooked, but this one and it's half baked. But with this one, I get more information, and before I'm out, it's like I'm enriched. So you see, at the end of the day, you are slow, but you are very sure. So people will end up coming to you. So it's not really about being the first. I believe in branding. I believe in let them hurry and go ahead of you. But yours is take your time, bring out your thoughts, bring out your emotion, they can be ahead of you. Somebody will take their book and you see you are reading it and like there's no connection. There's a bit of disconnection somewhere. But you that you have taken your time to do it, you own it. So it's like people understand what you are saying. It's communicating their mind. You see, sometimes somebody is reading a book and the person is like, oh, this is me they are talking about.
Yeah.
So it is not, we have to get it right. Yes, it will help us to be fast and all of that. But how original? How are people going to find themselves in your story? How is it going to impact? Is it for them to just read? Don't forget again that today, most musicians, when you compare the previous music to today music, the previous one is still alive because thoughts and emotions, heritage, culture was infused. But today, yo. So within 6 months, the song died off. But today, when they are playing Ampedu, they are playing Amachi Dede, Nigeria, they are playing those big, you can still feel the vibe. They are dead, but that is the legacy we want to leave.
Okay.
I'd like to add something to that. And I'll go back to the novel I mentioned earlier, Homegoing, written by Yajisi. It's one of my favorites, so forgive me. That novel was written within a 7-year period, 7 good years to write one book. The writer had to do a lot of research because it's about slavery, and the story is about slavery written or told in a more colorful and a more informal way, so that you enjoy it but you still learn. And so she had to do a lot of reading, a lot of research, writing, rewriting for 7 good years. And so when you take that book and you read it, it leaves you with a lot of thoughts, a lot of information. It touches your soul. And I don't think you can compare that to a book written in a matter of minutes by an AI. Yes, it can add emotions based on your prompts and all that, but the originality and you, the writer, being able to proudly own the work, it is, all of these are factors you should consider. Yes, it is fast. Yes, it can help you save time and all that, but can you proudly say that this is what I did? Can you own the work? You should consider all of those things as well.
So listening to both of you, I have like so many questions, and I have so many topics we could be discussing right now. I've just thought about 3 other topics we can have for our next talks, just on the few things you guys have shared. I agree with quite a number of them. Some of them too, I don't agree, but because of time, I don't want us to go into it. If Mr. Christian is still on, I would like him to restate his question so we can address that and move forward.
Yes, so my question was, thank you so much, Mr. Nana. My question was concerning intellectual rights.
Okay.
how do we remunerate and I don't know if I would say creative work, but a work that has been created by using exclusively AI. Now you will see online many YouTubers who are doing a lot of stuff by AI generated video. People who are writing and publishing books with AI exclusively. They just give instructions for every chapter and everything is written. So at the end, gradually the line between like the intellectual right of an author, a human author and a robot will be very, very thin. It will be difficult to differentiate. So how do we, manage that? What are the experiences that, some of our speakers have concerning that, intellectual right and the remuneration? For example, can AI own the revenue out of a book? Because they are the one that has been used to create it. So it'd be good for us to start looking at that and how African governments or African cultural sector and cultural industry are also preparing to handle those issues. Yeah.
Can I come in?
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
My
Yes,
my network went off a little. Yeah. Before the panelists answer this question, I did a little research on this, and for intellectual property, I think there are few laws surrounding it. So when maybe a website like OpenAI, for instance, generates a content for you, okay, so long as you've subscribed to their services, the content is yours. You see, the content is yours. It's just that, however, some free content platforms have the exclusive rights for every content it generates, unless you've paid premium for it, then you can now have the rights. So it's going to be a very huge area to look at, because some AI websites gives the rights to you for free. Some of them will retain the rights. Some of them you have to have permission, a premium subscription before you have the rights and all that. So it's going to be, yeah. Anyways, but I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think about it? How do we manage this? What do you think?
Well, I initially on the issue of plagiarism, initially I was worried about the AI giving people plagiarized content, but during my research, I realized that some reports said content
Hello?
generated by ChatGPT, if the AI mistakenly generates someone's work that is protected by copyright, you can find yourself wanting. And so in as much as the AI is helping us, it is cool, it's giving us nice responses, helping us write.
Okay. Hello. Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you.
So I think
I can hear you also.
Yeah, I think it's FOS network. Matilda, what do you think about it?
So initially, no, actually, when something is coming up, my first question is, why AI? Okay, and why so much noise about it? One thing I know is, we are gradually moving into a new era, a break of a new dawn, where technology wants to rubbish the knowledge of man. Let me put it in that. Because you see, Intellectuals, when we are talking about somebody who is like intelligent and all of that, there are people like you can say, okay, this person is a researcher who sit in, but now IA is coming to, very soon IA is going to take lots of people off the job market, because it's like there'll be no work for you to do.
Yeah.
Because now it's like it is acting more intelligent than humans.
Okay.
Which, so when you can see that some countries are even banning AI, that they don't want it to be accepted into their system. And they know the reason. So like Christian rightly said, what is our organizations, our Africa, we doing about it? Because Africa, we are most of the time, whether we like it or not, we are less privileged. We don't know how to bring, even if you bring something out, the Western world will take it, they will take us in, groom us, and they take it as theirs. So if AI is coming, ask yourself, this social media and all of that, I'm coming somewhere. TikTok, when you go to China, the way TikTok is used, that is not how TikTok is used in Ghana here or Africa settings. They are using it to learn. They are using it to develop so many things. But Africans, we are using it to naked ourselves. We are using it to rubbish our culture and all of that. We are using it to, in fact, bring out different message. So you see, with us here as Africans, we are using AI. How prepared are we? It's very soon, it's going to make, if you are going to become very, whether you are intelligent or not, you are not going to sell.
Yeah.
Your brand won't go anywhere. So yes, this might come as people seeing it as a blessing, but have you seen, are we trying to see the other side? So to me, I think some of us should still keep our originality. We should still keep like, okay, IA is in, but let's restrict the usage. We shouldn't become so much addicted to it. Otherwise, very soon, we'll also be dancing to the tune of IA. And gradually, the little information we have up here, we start losing it. Because you see, how do we try getting information? Anytime I realize that I'm not able to communicate well, I know where I'm lacking. I'm lacking the act of reading. So quickly, I have to start visiting my library to read, so I can build on my vocabulary. I can build on my communication skills. So if I'm supposed to be dependent on IA totally, what happens to my intellect? Definitely is going to drop, because now there'll be no zeal for me to say, okay, Matilda is lacking vocabularies. Matilda is lacking the skill of communication. So she has to go back to her library. She has to go back to research, but rather I'll jump onto AI to help me. So very soon, even when you are intelligent, IA will make you dumb, excuse my language. So we have to make a clear distinction that yes, in as much as we are embracing this thing, there should be a restriction and we should have a limit. Africa, we don't know how to learn. We overlearn, and that is our problem. Yes, Yatra. I'm sorry, some of our guests are not. But when an account person says yes, Yatra, it means we overlearn. We don't learn. We don't ask questions. That okay, this thing, what implication does it have? We just jump onto it, and then we are overboard. And before you realize, we are off.
Yeah.
The people who created it themselves are restricting certain things. The people who created it themselves knows that very soon when this thing take over, what happens to the young girl who is going to school for years? IA will definitely take you off your job and all of that. So yes, let's try to make sure there's a bridge. Let's make sure, okay, we creatives, yes, we are depending on IA, but if depend on it, it should be 30-70. Your efforts should be 70, so that at least you can keep your mind busy. You can keep yourself trying to learn more, so that you can keep yourself valid, or you can keep yourself up there. But if you want to strike the balance 50-50, automatically, I think IA will take over you, because what they are planning of doing everything now. So I think, to me, it should be on a scale of my part. If I want to be that, I should keep my intelligence. I should keep my smartness. I should keep my my human feel or vibe when it comes to telling my story and all of that as a creative, I should be 80% or 70% above IA. You get it, using IA. So I'll go for it 30% and then, or maybe 20%, 80% has to be from me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd
Before
like to say something.
before you come in,
Okay.
yeah, this discussion, it has been amazing. This just feels like just an introduction into the topic. And there are more questions. I wrote down a lot of questions, and we've barely even scratched the surface of it. So I like to give everybody maybe 2-3 minutes just to say something, like the final words. So before you just you add what you wanted to say, then maybe your final words, then Matilda comes in, then Christian comes in, so that we can close, because I think we are a little bit behind time. So thank you very much.
Christian was saying that he believes banning AI is purely a waste of time.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. I also agree with Matilda, but I don't think AI is going to totally replace human beings in certain roles on the job market. Maybe some, but not everything, especially the roles that have to do with emotions and all that. And so we shouldn't see it as coming to replace the human race, but rather as a means to increase efficiency on the job market, in our activities and all that. Think about it this way: the plow for farming used to be there before the combined harvester came. It didn't change the actual farming practice. It just came to make it better. So I think we should see AI as in that light. I'm not a full AI fan, but I would say that it has potential to help to make things faster, better, but we shouldn't fully depend on it, as Matilda was saying.
Okay, thank you very much for Matilda.
Yeah, so she has said it all, but I wouldn't, when you say that, they will tell you, so this is it. Yes, this is it. I'm not against AI. I have actually advised people. There are times I communicated with some of the sellers here in my district, and I was like, see, very soon, even when you are selling this cassava and things, you have to have the skill, you have to have knowledge in technology, because where we are going to now, you can't tell. So we all have to follow the trend, but we should be careful how we follow it. When we are following it, excuse my language, we should try to leave our brain behind and go all through it. When we are following, we should follow with caution. When we are following, we should have a plan B. That okay, this thing I'm doing, what is the other side of it? And if it should happen that it flops this way, goes this way, how can I cushion myself? So yes, we should embrace it, but we should have a plan B. We should embrace it, but we should go with caution. We should apply caution. We should be careful. That's it. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay, thank you, Matilda. Mr. Christian, can you add your final words?
Yes, with pleasure. Yeah. So I believe that as close from the other
Mr. Christian, we cannot really hear you.
It's like strength. Other than fighting. Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yes. So I was saying that AI is here to stay. It's not an event. It may be trending now, but it is here to stay. So we definitely need, rather than to fight it or to see it as a threat, but to rather find ways of integrating it within our corporate and individual practices. AI can accelerate productivity. AI can help gain in efficiency. AI can help maximize time. And we know how important time is. So ultimately, needs to find ways of using it, leveraging upon it, maximizing it, to make the world a better place. Obviously, as every new technology, as every new tool it will come with some challenges in terms of how it is being applied or how it's being used at the ethical level, but everything, also has to bring people together as we have come today, so that we can find ways of making the best out of it while preserving, the best for society. So thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward, to further discussion on a specific topic related to this issue, specifically the issue of the intellectual right of AI-generated content. Thank you.
Thank you too. So guys, this was an amazing session. There's still a lot of things we've still not touched on. I think there's going to be a series where we talk about this, we go deeper into it. Just as Mr. Christian was talking, we can look at the intellectual rights of it, and can look at how people can monetize it. We can look, there's so many things, how to improve the industry with AI, because as Mr. Christian said, AI is here to stay. AI, I believe, is like the age of internet, where internet came. People thought it's going to be a 1 year something or something that ends, but we are now using the internet for everything. I think this is the time. So the AI revolution is here, and we need to look at it deeply, carefully, and see how to improve the children's book industry and basically Africa as a whole. There will be subsequent talks on this issue. There'll be subsequent talks on this issue. So I think everyone on the call should kindly follow the Muna Kalati social media handles. It will be posted in the chat. You can visit our website to see what we are up to, the things we are doing. You can visit the podcast to listen to this podcast we just had again, this talk again. You can visit our YouTube channel to watch it if you would like to watch it, the video there. We will be definitely having this talk again. So watch out, be on the social media, look out for it, and join next time. Next time around, instead of 2 participants, maybe we can have a larger set where we can dive deeper into things. So once again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. My name is Nana Ado, and I'll see you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. So nice meeting you, Christian. Nice meeting you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Same here.